Public.
Switch.
I think we're
Yeah.
public.
Then you
Are we
do the
public yet?
Switching Scooter's
Guys,
not
scholars.
here.
What?
Welcome to Clickbait Sports. Haha.
What? Hey, you tried to steal my thunder. I'm the host of this show.
Are you really? I think you're getting a bit of a big head. I think you need to stop that. Five.
We're suffering from LVS, right? Lead vocal syndrome. Happened to Van Halen.
And that happened to Scott Stapp too.
Old ass reference right there. Welcome to Clickbait Sports. It is Thursday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day to all the men and women that have served in the military, like my father, Air Force Colonel, and 26-year veteran of the United States military. Anybody else have relatives that in Clickbait Sports that are in the military?
No, they're all dead.
Unfortunately, yeah, deceased.
Okay.
Deceased.
They were
Way to
veterans.
bring up a painful memory, Adam.
That's right.
I specifically said let's not talk about this before the show, and you went with it anyway.
Okay. Well, obviously, no Scooter today, even though we're broadcasting to his channel. So later,
Yeah,
we will be donking.
Of course he cowers when the Cowboys lose embarrassingly. Of course he does.
Right. We will be dunking hard on him, even though he's not here to defend himself. Because that's what happens when you talk all that smack. They have 2 losses on the season. Tom, what are you going to win if they lose 3 games? What do you get from Scooter?
He has to buy the biggest Ryan Fitzmagic jersey for the Washington football team and wear that around. And it'll be like a ball gown. It'll be really nice.
Like a triple XXL.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is hilarious.
I'm
So it's
looking
like
forward to it.
completely worthless. All right, first order of business. Odell Beckham signs with the Rams. At first, Schefter reported it. Everyone said, oh, yeah. And then they kind of retracted it. But then it's now confirmed. Let's get our live reaction to that. Tom, I think you should go first because, your team didn't get him.
Close.
Give us your live reaction to this.
No, they did not. And people have been DMing me a whole bunch. We talked about it on GPS yesterday because people just kept messaging me about it. And I was telling Perna, I feel like I've done this episode so many times of should the Packers sign OBJ? Because we did this last year, when he was going through problems and they were thinking about trading him. And it's just happening all over again. So, I mean, at this point, I think it had gone on so long that I convinced myself that it would be a good pickup for the Packers. Because I was like, you know what? If he's willing to come here, take that pay cut, a 1-year deal. Yeah, I mean, we can make it happen. Because I think for him, it was you go with Aaron Rodgers and just elevate your value next year when you're a free agent and just catch all the passes. You'll be the number 2 guy, you'll battle it out with MVS, Cobb, and Lazard. And I was like, you know what? That wouldn't be too bad. It's definitely not our biggest need, but that wouldn't be too bad. And then just every Packers fan knows way too well, whenever someone is rumored to come to us, they don't. So now we just sit here and go, oh, and now, I have to say, my perception of the Rams, I've immediately turned on them. I didn't mind the Rams. I thought they were going to be fine. I like Matthew Stafford and everything like that. But now they seem like a super team, and I'm not a fan of super teams. And I'm bye.
Nobody likes a super team.
Yeah, and nobody likes Stan Kroenke either, which is the real reason why you should be hating the Rams, not because they're a super team.
I think, honestly, anytime you can add a weapon, fine, add a weapon, right? But the Rams already cut Deshaun.
They cut Deshaun Jackson because he wasn't getting touches.
Right.
And they signed OBJ, who's probably not going to get touches behind Robert Woods and Van Jefferson.
And Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp, yeah. So you're wide receiver 4.
Leading receiver, Cooper Kupp.
Yes, the great white hope, Cooper Kupp. Brandon, why don't you give me your reaction to Odell getting signed here?
Ooh. I think I'm with Tom where I was trying to convince myself that if he went to the Packers, he feels kind of like a need there, a void where if he's healthy, he might be that explosive player. It seemed like it would make sense because of the way Aaron Rodgers sort of freelances. giving extra time for guys like Odell, who did that really well in New York with Eli Manning. Like, that's where they made their living, was buying a little extra time, getting deep downfield. The Rams it makes sense in that they're a good offense. Their defense is getting better every week, should be better with Von Miller. They're going to be a playoff team, but I don't know if he actually puts them over the, I don't know how much better he makes them than they were before. And I think you take away from a guy like Van Jefferson, where he's playing more and more of a key role as that third receiver in the offense, getting, more targets. You're basically asking Van Jefferson to take a lesser role with Odell coming in there. But I've watched the Rams quite a bit this season, and they do. Matthew Stafford's having the luxury of just looking for the guy who is wide open and throwing to that player. And I think Odell could be that guy there for them. So
potentially he doesn't have to do much. He's going to be your wide out 4, maybe your wide out 3, but I doubt they're going to reduce touches for Van Jefferson. This is his sort of emergence as a legitimate wide receiver in the NFL. And he does have that pedigree. So your question is okay, you're probably using him for wide situations and probably deep balls. He's probably going to fill the Deshaun Jackson role.
Yeah. And you said something, Tree, earlier about what this feels like. What does it feel like to you?
It feels like ring chasing, man. It's ring chasing in its finest, man. It feels somebody became a free agent. He's going to go to the best team that has a chance to win a championship. Remember, Antonio Brown went to the Buccaneers, won a ring, unfortunately. Deion Sanders, I saw people mention him too. He did that with the 49ers and the Cowboys. Did that as well. So they signed 1-year contracts. Hope they can get the big shot, because it's about the team you go with. And at this point, you'll shut up and take care of anything to swallow your pride and win a ring.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. If you want to bet on the Rams winning the Super Bowl, why don't you do that with DraftKings Sportsbook, who's back again, baby? Back here, Clickbait Sports.
That is a sly introduction to that ad. That is pure.
Had to put
that should be teaching that in radio production classes.
Yeah,
that way.
The Dan Patrick School of Radio Broadcasting in Florida. Okay, Clickbait is the code. The link is in the description. So if you want to bet on some football, you do it with DraftKings. There's a small chance Odell could play on Monday night. There's enough time where he could be active for the game, so there could be some Odell bets, some player prop bets there. I will watch that Monday, and I will probably take the under on whatever they are if he is playing. But DraftKings, they've got same game parlays, again, player props, live betting, so much more. And again, with the Clickbait code, DraftKings is matching your first-time deposit for new customers up to $1,000 with code ClickityBaity. Well, okay, it's just Clickbait. Don't put the Y in there. That's going to mess up the whole thing. Clickbait Sports, DraftKings, do it. Here's the thing with Odell. The one thing, the area he could help is if an injury happens to one of the Rams receivers. The Broncos, before the season started, we were like, oh my God, we have all of these receivers. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, you got Noah Fant, Albert O at your tight end positions. They had KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick, and people they should trade one of those guys for another player, get an area of need. And Will Keeson and I were like, no, you've got a depth at a very important position. And right away, injuries started tearing that group apart. Mm-hmm. KJ Hamler done for the season. So that might be if the Rams lose a guy and they have Odell to come in and pick up the slack there, that could be a big difference.
Yeah, and Cup. Go ahead.
You're good, man.
No, Cup for as good as he has been this year, he has been injury prone in the past. I mean, I think he missed the majority of a season.
Yeah,
a couple years ago when they had Gurley and everyone was making those two Gurleys, one Cup jokes, and now that Gurley's gone, it's just one Cup. And
at this point, the Rams should sign Todd Gurley too.
They could actually, because he's still a free agent.
My big thing with Odell signing with the Rams is there must have been some conversation because, he narrowed it down to 3 teams, right? And it makes me wonder what the conversation was, or 2 teams there, Tom Grassi.
Well, it's funny you say that, Five, because I was just about to bring up that tweet about the conversations that were happening.
Oh, okay. Bring it up.
Yeah, that just happened. Jordan Schultz said Odell's final 2 teams came down to the Rams and the Packers, who remained his preferred destination. So Odell came out saying Packers were number 1. And this is something that's going to upset Packers fans. Not once did OBJ feel like Green Bay was all in.
Wow.
On the flip side, he spoke with McVay, who was able to creatively detail the multitude of ways he maximize OBJ's talents. And then, of course, there was also the connection with Von Miller. So that's not something that you want to hear as a Green Bay Packer fan, considering, that's something that this front office and past front offices have constantly been berated on about not being all in. So I'm excited to get those DMs after
Do you
this
really need OBJ, though? You have Devontae Adams, you have MVS, you have Alan Lazard. You need a tight end. You don't need a wide receiver.
Cobb, too.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he was necessary. I think because the Browns are basically paying the majority of your contract already, like, why not? Like, the way that I phrased it and talked about it yesterday was like, listen, it's basically like a Jalen Smith. Like, that blew up in our face, but we paid like pennies for him.
Yeah.
So at this point, if we were able to get OBJ week 1, if he's kicking field goal nets on the sideline, bye-bye. Like, that's it. You're gone. Like, it was just such a low risk and like a medium to high reward. I like convinced myself, like, sure, why not? Like at this point, you could use him and you get another weapon. But I will say real quick before 5, we jump back to you about the Rams. They have a ton of weapons, but if their offensive line acts like they did against the Titans on Sunday night, it's not going to matter how many weapons they have, because if Stafford's constantly getting knocked on his ass, like, it's not going to matter. So I think the Rams are still a very good football team. I think with Von Miller, they'll be good. I think OBJ makes them slightly better on offense just because there's already so many weapons. But, I don't think they're going to have a walk to the Super Bowl, because you still have the Buccaneers, the Cardinals, the Packers. Like, there's teams that are still going to fight them.
Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter what McVay said to Odell, because if he comes to the team and he doesn't get catches or whatever, like, or he doesn't get open, like, who cares, right? Yeah. We were winning with you, or we were winning before you came, and we will win without you. Like, you're just a low risk prop bet here that we're putting out on the field. And look, the Odell, the one-handed catch Odell is gone. Like, I don't know where that guy went. He's completely injured. So yeah, if he comes in and he doesn't produce anything, so what? He could end up like Jalen Smith, cut again. I don't think so. I think he'll be somewhat productive for the Rams. But my question is like, how does this hurt the Cowboys, right? Because, or any other team that was contending for the NFC crown, the Buccaneers, etc. Yeah, I mean, it's one player. It doesn't really change things. I think the bigger acquisition is Von Miller when he's healthy.
Yes.
Other than OBJ, but hopefully this lessens the Cowboys' chance. Now that I'm using that as a segue to show you all my punishment. Some of you who are perceptive might be seeing this on the side of my freaking head, because last week I won. And why don't you ISO me here?
One in the super chat.
Oh yeah, I'll ISO you, baby.
Yeah,
there we go.
To the top here. And I had to get Cowboys.
There it is.
And I didn't just do one side.
Above and beyond.
I doubled it up.
Wow. Did you paint that on yourself?
I did. I had a stencil and everything, and it was very difficult to do this. So thank God my art degree is coming in handy now that
Finally.
I can paint.
I have a quick question. Why would you do that? They just lost to the Broncos.
Oh, okay. That's 2 segments away. 2 segments away.
I
Bring
wanted
us all
to
back.
tease it. That's called foreshadowing. It's called foreshadowing.
Can I say one last thing about Odell?
What? Yes.
I swear to God, if Odell Beckham Jr. prevents Cooper Kupp, a.k.a. Vanellatron, from getting his 2,000-yard receiving season, I will never, ever forgive OBJ.
You will.
Dead to me
You will.
forever.
Yeah. One thing that I do want to back up though with OBJ is that Sean McVay must be one heck of a salesman because, like I said before, it doesn't matter what happens after he comes. Once he signed that ink, McVay could be like, "Oh yeah, that stuff I told you, like forget it, shut up and run this distract."
Welcome to WR5.
Right. Welcome to
McVay-
this decoy route.
Sean McVay guaranteed he would allow Odell Beckham to go to all of his auditions in Hollywood while playing for the Rams. That's the guarantee that OBJ signed there.
He said he had a hookup for,
Yeah, I can get you in the new Tarantino film.
Yes. Yes.
He's
All
gonna
right,
be
let's
in
go.
Extra Law and Order.
SBU.
Odell was the murderer, guys.
And he clapped on that guy's chest. Wait,
Oh my God, he killed him. He
What?
suffocated him with feces, human feces.
Remember, we're broadcasting on Scooter's channel here. He's not even
Yeah.
here.
You could say
it's not a curse
Hey,
word.
hey, you know
What?
what? The Cowboys lost this game. He can deal with all the crap.
Yeah,
he
you
wants,
guys are
no pun
thinking
intended.
impure thoughts. Okay.
Whatever.
Oh my
Ain't my
God.
problem.
Second
Have a
order of
12-year-old brain.
business here. Cam Newton signing with his old team, Patriots legend Cam Newton, Superman. What does this say about the Panthers? That they're that desperate.
Fan
Baby,
service,
come back.
baby. Fan service. That's what this is.
take it out on me. Baby, come back.
I don't think that's the line. But
And hey, I mean, he's making 10 mil this year for half a season. I'll give him credit for it.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
that was
his shoulder's
crazy, the
banged up, but
detail.
you know what? It's a good situation. I mean, Carolina gets a reason to say goodbye to a guy they really never got to say goodbye to.
Closure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems like
To
a
bring
marketing
fan to the
ploy.
stand. Oh, it is. It is. It's to bring fans back to the stadium because the team sucks. They're not going anywhere, and it's looking like a lost season, which is a step back for the rebuild. So that's why they're bringing in Cam Newton because PJ Walker did not look good in his first starts. Who are you going to start? Matt Barkley?
Listen,
No.
I got to say, the Panthers need to bring in a tackler like Mac Jones. You know, you might not like it, but
No.
he gets it done.
Dude,
all right?
Right.
I told you this, Tom.
Listen.
Mac Jones is preparing for his MMA career. He's going to be called Mac Shamrock. Just great ankle locks of death.
A Ken Shamrock reference. What year
Yeah.
is it?
Little heel
Whatever.
hook. You saw
He did
that?
ankle locks.
We're going to talk about that later, though. That is part of the agenda. Is Mac Jones versus Brian Burns. But the thing is, like Sam Darnold, like I know he's injured, but I guess the Panthers are not sold on him. If they're willing to bring in Cam Newton, like they're not even like, hey, PJ, make these couple starts and then Sam will come back and we'll give you
Oh,
a nice
Lord.
little pat on the head. Like they're
Oh.
willing to
Inject
bring in a
chicken.
guy.
What the hell?
Somebody was born in me,
Wow.
Jerway.
Somebody's
Wow.
chicken just got injected.
Strikes again.
At $500
Inject the
super
death
chat.
into my head.
Chicken.
Well,
Raw chicken.
there it is.
Start thinking of the punishment for tree guys.
Oh,
The chicken
God.
cometh
You
in
know what's happening here. Unless
Inject
there's
chicken,
a
I
route.
hate you this week. I hate you so much.
You better sick your army on Tom Grassi there, tree. You better direct them to where it's going.
I
All
don't
right.
have an army, dude.
The Panthers basically they're like somebody who got divorced, then got remarried, and then divorced the person they remarried so they could remarry their first wife.
And have it
Right.
end badly.
Did you
Because
follow that?
My question is,
I don't-
like, on what planet does Cam Newton command $10 million for this season? Like, that's what's shocking to me. Like, I don't think anyone was running out to sign Cam Newton because they would have done it already. And like, I understand the Panthers are not in a great place, so maybe that drove up the price. But like, that's a good chunk of change right there.
Yeah, oh yeah, 10 mil.
they must have figured they would make up for it in jersey sales for his send-off game, right? Like that's got to be
Well,
how it is. Is PJ Walker going to start too?
He's starting this week.
this
Okay.
week.
Next
Cam's
week is
not gonna
probably
start.
Cam. I mean, like as I said, when Sam Darnold got benched for PJ Walker, Walker did not look good either. So
No.
that's why. It's like, dude, we've got nothing else out here. It's 2 a.m. and we don't want to come out with like the 50-year-old woman with a bucktooth, bow legs, and just like probably syphilis. We want something else, so we'll go hire somebody and be like, "Hey, babe, you want to like a round of the night?" And Cam will be like, "Okay, give me 10."
So you're saying Matt Rule sent a text to Cam Newton at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like it's the X situation or like the quick hookup, you know. Like I got nothing else. Hey, babe, you want to come over? And she's like, okay.
Yeah, me neither.
The weird thing is the Panthers are only a half game behind.
Are you kidding me?
The Falcons. You get $300 already?
Yeah, dude, Inject Chicken. I have a quick question. Did you invest in Bitcoin back in 2013?
Yeah, I wonder where this unlimited fund.
Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, there has to be like maybe this is a tax write-off for an underground crime syndicate or something like that.
I think Inject Chicken is more than one person. I think.
It's probably like
Inject Chicken is legion.
Yeah,
injecting more than chicken. It's like he's smuggling cocaine across the border, and he's using those funds as a tax write-off. Be like, hey, have some money. Because we're going to use it as like a write-off so he can use the money.
Listen, Inject Chicken just sold a whole bunch of Tesla stock this morning. It was all reported. So that's
what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like either like he bought Tesla really early, he either got in Lucid that kind of popped out, or Bitcoin.
He's just happy because he's not going to get taxed on his unrealized gains.
Oh yeah, maybe he sold high on Shiba Coin. I don't know.
Yes.
Shiba.
Is that how I can refer to my body as unrealized gains?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just at a point where I haven't really. I'm getting taxed for it, but I'm not receiving. Oh, what's up, Ooch?
Yeah.
So we can finish this last season. They get what they can, but I'm certain Cam retires at the end of the season. Circle complete.
That's what it seems like to me. It's a closure situation.
Yep. Here's the crazy thing, which I was going to say before Inject Chicken made urinating trees net worth go way past all that.
Triple.
The Panthers are a half game behind the Falcons in their division. The Falcons are currently a wild card team. They did just get Christian McCaffrey back. Their defense was good until Sam Darnold started turning the ball over and playing poorly. So, assuming Cam can come back, play decent football, be a red zone threat like Sam Darnold was when they were winning games early this season, there's a chance like this move could look really good if the Panthers legit could sneak into the playoffs because of this move. Well, and again, Cam was not good with the Patriots last year. I don't know if there's much left there with Cam.
He has athleticism, so at the very least, he can still run.
There's a team he's familiar with. He knows, like, McCaffrey played some of his best football with Cam there. So there's like a fit. It might work. It seems desperate, but I'll be kind of rooting.
You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking for Tree is a sandwich board in just his boxers.
Tree made $1,000 on this stream just from Inject Chicken.
Steelers gone to Super Bowl. Just a sandwich board. Or maybe make him wear a barrel.
Oh, this has we cracked 1,000. We gotta make him.
We gotta do something.
Oh god,
we have a whole episode
5,000 live viewers.
Yeah, we have 5,000 viewers, folks.
5,000 viewers for my
5,000 viewers. Tree's making $1,000.
Oh Lord,
I'm thinking you should drive to Baltimore with the sandwich board on, only your underwear on, and it says on one side it says Steelers Ganta, on the other side it says Super Bowl.
No.
There's nothing
you
on
have
the
to walk
other side,
down the Inner Harbor, one stretch of road, and then back. Steelers gone.
Yeah. I think we need Tree to just put out like a minute long, the most Steeler Yinzers video possible. Like I didn't even know what that.
We'll figure this out later. We'll figure this out later. Let's talk about
Jim Beam. He's talking about all the bridges over the Allegheny. Eating a Pittsburgher. Mm-hmm. All right. Next order of business, because you know what? I don't think Cam really does anything with the Panthers. He's so washed. It'll be a nice story, a nice end to his career. But Inject Chicken is going into mode. Next order of business, since we are now halfway through the show and we have been waiting for this the whole time.
Yes, the best part, except for the Bitcoin donations.
A dark day in the history of the Cowboys. The Denver Broncos get out. What? That score was 30-0, wasn't it? Like, I'm going to let everyone go around here and just dunk on the Cowboys. Brandon, you get to go first. Say what you will about that game on Sunday. And Scooter's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
Nor his audience.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this about the Cowboys.
The king.
Before I trash the Cowboys, I just want to say Dallas sucks. Dallas sucks. That is an overrated, overhyped football team. Maybe the worst football team I've ever seen. Why? Because they made the Broncos look like they had a juggernaut offense. They made me think Pat Shurmur was worth keeping after this season. Something I never thought I would stoop to believing. And they can't even block a punt correctly. They've got Jerry Jones complaining this week about a rule he didn't know about, calling it stupid. Jerry Jones is complaining about a weird caveat in the blocked punt rule the same week that taunting stole a victory away from the Bears. So,
yep, and gave it to my Steelers. Steelers get Super Bowl. Thank you, Tony Coroni, MVP of the Steelers.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Dallas. I do know the Broncos haven't lost
what
to the Cowboys since
Steelers,
1995.
Hey,
Every
chat,
time Denver plays Dallas.
Chat. Press 1 in the chat if you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. I am a grown man, and I do not want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. All right, since you want to talk, Tree, why don't you dunk on the Cowboys right now? Give me your best. Give me your best dunk on the Cowboys.
You lost to the Broncos.
Hey, wait.
It feels good to be miserable, isn't it, Scooter? I know you're not here. I know you don't like to see my ugly face in front of a camera. I completely understand it. But, you know, this game was as ugly as me right now. Dak looked terrible. Your running game had nothing. Your passing game had nothing. 4th down, I'm going to throw it way high, overthrown like crazy. And dear mother of God, I got another 100, didn't I? But the Denver's offense looked really good. They were throwing deep passes. When does Denver throw deep passes? I'm more angry at Denver because, like, what the hell was this earlier? And
me too.
And it's like they look terrible for like a majority of the season. Then they come out against one of the supposedly best teams in the league. Smack them. Vikings couldn't even do this. Dear God.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words. I mean, it's the same reason why certain people like Buffalo beat Jacksonville, and we need to talk about this too. And I know that I was told to share this by a certain man named Dave Rapocchio. So there you go, buddy. I shared it on my program. Shad Khan grinding on our good friend, Mr. Urban Meyer. And Urban Meyer is grinding out those wins.
Yes.
I know exactly how it is.
He went soft zone for that.
You know it, man.
That's hard.
Sorry, I had to fulfill my obligations. But Tom, how do you feel about Scooter losing in hilarious fashion?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, on the previous iteration of Clickbait Sports, one Scooter Magruder was trying to goad me into an argument and was basically saying, hey, you know, Tom, if Jordan Love balls out on Sunday against the Chiefs, are you going to have a QB controversy? And listen, Jordan Love, not all his fault, did not ball out. However, if I'm not mistaken, Cooper Rush defeated the Minnesota Vikings, and Rain Dakota Prescott sucked against the Denver Broncos. So my question is, where's the real QB controversy?
Dak's washed. Cooper Rush season.
Guess what? Rush, baby. That's it. And they're playing all the hits. They're playing all the hits. You're living in the limelight. You're in it. Because right now, the Cowboys didn't just lose to the Broncos. They got smacked around. And so because of that, bring in Cooper Rush, have him finish out the rest of the year, and just trade Rain Dakota Prescott to, I don't know, maybe the Patriots.
Yes. No, you should trade him to the
Dak to New
Steelers
England.
for
Oh
a
my
5th
God.
round pick. We have a Ben Roethlisberger that we can gladly give you for veteran leadership too. You should really do that, Dallas.
Oh my goodness!
Steelers
So
got
let's
a
go to
Super Bowl.
Washington, and then Scooter can buy
Steelers got
one
a
of those
Super Bowl.
jerseys.
With Rain Dakota Prescott, and then I
Cooper
ultimately dunk on him.
Rush. That's it. He wasn't raining down points against Denver.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Cooper Anal Rush, more like it.
Whoa.
Would you
hey,
guys say that Scooter didn't want to talk about it today?
I don't think he wants to talk about it. He's clearly
Hey.
not here. He
Yeah,
claimed something about internet access.
He conveniently went out of town.
I'm
very
going to close.
mysterious about what he was doing
Yes.
too.
I'm
Like,
going to
I
close
can't be here,
this.
guys. The internet's bad. We don't know. Where
I'm
he's
currently
Scooter.
in Area 51 trying to become a better Cowboys fan. By the way, I'm also a grown man.
Maybe he's looking for Dak Prescott's talent somewhere.
Ooh, wow. I guess, well, he's got to go
That's
somewhere
fine.
with not much internet because that's
That's what I'm
pretty,
saying. He's underwater
pretty-
somewhere.
yeah, it's pretty tough. All right, I'm going to close this segment out with me watching the score of that game, just watching it unfold, and then looking and checking. I was like, man, this is going to be rough because the Broncos haven't been playing well, and the Cowboys, you know, they beat a team with just Cooper Rush. Like it must be a magical season for the Cowboys, and to see them down 30-0, we're starting to wonder: is there a blueprint now on how to take care
What I said.
of the problem that is the Dallas Cowboys? Now, here's the thing: we all know that Tom made a bet with Scooter at the beginning of the season where he has to wear a giant Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey, and he's up against it. He is one loss away, and you're looking at the schedule. They got to play the Chiefs one more time. They got to play the Saints.
They got to play the Cardinals, baby. They got
They got to play the Cardinals. There's a loss in there.
You want
There's a
what? You
loss.
know what's hilarious is the Broncos were up 30-0 in that game.
Yeah.
At the end of that game, the most points the Broncos had scored in any game this season was 27. They couldn't even come close to scoring 30 in the whole game. And
It's not
the
even
Cowboys-
scoring 30. They held the Cowboys. Now in back-to-back weeks, the Cowboys haven't even scored more than 22 points. You better watch out, Scooter, with all that hubris here. I don't know. I'd love to see this getting taken care of next week. The Falcons beating the Cowboys.
Oh
would
my
just
God,
be-
it'd be amazing.
Oh, dude, that'd be fantastic. Especially if the Falcons blow another lead or they come back. And
Well,
the
yeah, that's what I'm
Cowboys
saying.
blow
The
it.
Cowboys choke it away.
Yes.
Yes. And I would love to bet that game. Speaking of betting, Tom, where
Yeah.
would you bet?
Well, my logo's gone, so I don't know.
oh man, I
where,
forgot
where'd it
Oh,
go?
it's gone.
Mm.
Turn it off.
Can-
Oh, it should have been up there.
Come on.
Here we go.
Hide me
Set it
behind
up.
it again. I miss it. I miss its warm embrace. Can we put the 4 boxes on the side? No.
Oh.
Oh, Tom's Tavern.
Ooh, that's been a while.
Smoke show back
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So
And the
if
girl.
you listen, folks, if you like the football and if you like making money or potentially losing, depending on your knowledge of the football, well,
Scooter?
do I have an offer for you? You see, DraftKings is giving you $1,000 if you make deposits into the DraftKings Sportsbook. And you're like, how
Up
does
to
that work?
1,000.
It's
Up to
yeah, it's up to
$1,000.
$1,000. I was gonna get there. I was working my way over there. So like you put money in, it's like an ATM. Like you put money in, you know, you go to the bank and the ATM's broken, and it pumps out more money. That's what's happening over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you use the code Clickbait, you'll get a broken ATM. Now, again, you gotta be 21 years or older. So if you can't do a shot of peanut butter whiskey, you're not old enough to do it.
Oh,
But
you think-
just in case you don't have the betting in your state, you could do the fantasy thing too. So you could go and you could be like, oh man, I could put a fantasy team together. I did that the first 2 weeks. I lost horribly, but it was their money. So I was like, okay, got it, nerd. So yeah, if you want to go and take money from DraftKings, you could use Clickbait. You could use that promo code. You could do that.
All right, everyone, it's unanimous. Everyone just go to DraftKings.
Well done.
Look, we dropped about 100 viewers because they're going to sign up for Clickbait right now.
Wow.
Ain't that the truth?
Boom.
I did it.
All right, a couple laundry list items here. Mac Jones.
McCorkle Jones.
Ankle lock.
Yes, McCorkle Jones obviously has taken a couple no-gi classes because he went for a heel hook on Brian Burns, which is generally a dirty move. Listen, Tom and I have trained jiu-jitsu. A heel hook is a dirty move when you're trained in jiu-jitsu, right?
They don't let white belts do it.
Right. They don't
let you could break someone's ankle so easily.
Right. They don't even let you practice it until you get advanced because a heel hook is dirty. Mac Jones just does it to a guy out in front of 50,000 people. Like and then he alligator rolled him and tried to break his foot off, which is just I think Mac Jones should be a Detroit Lion because he's out there biting people's ankles, right, or kneecaps or something. He is a Dan Campbell kind of guy. Now, Brian Burns apparently said that there was no apology from Mac Jones, and Mac Jones said, "I'm not going to apologize," basically, because he's like, "Look, I tried to hurt you, and I don't care." But Brian Burns said, was it today or yesterday, where he said basically,
Yesterday,
he was calling on he sent out the bat signal for the rest of the league to knock the living F out of Mac Jones, was basically what he said. How do y'all feel about that as a sound strategy? He's like, oh, hey, we did a camp together back in 2006. Can you hit Mac Jones in the face?
well, the problem is they now call that taunting and personal foul, so you'll be giving the Patriots extra yards. But even off the field, that's still a 15-yard penalty. Tony Correnti will be popping up from the background and be like, automatic loss.
It's on the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
Flag. They're like, last week on Twitter, you said some stuff that was taunting, so we're going to throw a flag on this one.
So you're saying a special teamer rolls into the Patriots bench and then takes out Mac Jones, and just undercuts him and just does a ankle roll on him, and then possibly does a full heel hook and just pops it? You think that'll happen?
I think what we saw on Monday night is just going to escalate even further. And people might be like, the taunting, and I go, no. The hip check that the referee gave that player, I want to see by week 18, just like on a kickoff, like Tony Correnti spearing the returners and just getting them like,
and then another ref flagging him for taunting the player, and then they get 15 yards.
What's going to happen is Tony Correnti taunts the player, and then the player gets flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's right.
There you go. Refs don't hit any sort of accountability whatsoever. They defended that taunting call, even though he's just like standing there, take a few steps back, and then look. It's like, okay, this point of emphasis, my butt. No.
Is anybody surprised that the NFL went and backed up Tony Correnti for doing that? They were just like, we investigated ourselves.
Yep.
And
I'm going to give itself a nice medal.
Like this before.
That's right.
Nice medal for the NFL. This is like their 50th medal of the week. That they are the bestest league in the whole wide world. They have done nothing wrong. They have done everything correct. God bless the NFL.
Brandon, you had some thoughts.
A taunting. Yeah, he was posturing like he was taunting. And then I saw somebody post a clip of TJ Watt in that game, looking over at the Bears sideline, doing some of this.
Yeah, he was doing it to the crowd. But, I mean, that could be considered taunting.
Oh, to the crowd he was. To the crowd, he was.
That's what I said. That could be considered taunting, especially in that rule.
And the other thing that gets me was that Correnti threw the flag because he thought Marsh was staring at the bench. His back was turned to him. Like he could have been staring at his feet. Like he could have been looking up at his girlfriend in the crowd or something, but no.
He probably thought he was yelling at the sideline and decided to cover his own ass.
It just reminds me of there was a time when Rasheed Wallace got a technical foul for looking at the ref one time. And then I remember that very clearly. Like now he did look menacing. Like he was just like, and then the ref was like, whack, Rasheed, you're out of here. And I'm like, what? He just got fouled for looking at the ref. So that leads me to ask the question, what can the NFL do to make the product worse? What new rule could the NFL enact that could make things worse than they are now? Because they just finally got things to calm down, right? Like they finally over the Kaepernick stuff. They're over all the, the Rams, the challengeable pass interference. And here we are in 2021 with another unpopular rule. What can they do to make this product worse? How can they make it
I think one, it's possible, but two, I think every controversial call is a best of 15 rock, paper, scissors between the player it's called on and the referee. And they play out that entire stretch. So the game is getting stopped for like 20 minutes. I think that's the way you get, listen, advertisers are going to buy into it, right? As soon as like paper is going to be thrown, you're going to have like Dunder Mifflin's like sponsorship that's going to pop up. I'm telling you, the revenue opportunities are endless. So I'm all about it.
I think
it's going to be amount of time, like call your own penalty too. Like if it's a home crowd, say NFC, AFC championship game, it's like, hey, make up the penalty. It's like, okay, it's a personal foul, roughing the passer, super murder on the defense. That is a 90-yard penalty and an automatic 20 points added to the home team. And that's how they do it.
I think they should go like that. Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
Always want to skip over me, huh, Adam?
Oh, sorry.
Wow, it's like I'm not even here sometimes.
Why don't you talk now?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put you on the center of the screen. There you go.
Thank you. I want attention, please. All right, here's what the
okay, LBJ.
We all know taunting, the
Hi, Brandon.
penalty. It is designed to protect players' feelings. The NFL must protect players' feelings. Whose feelings get hurt the most in the NFL? It is kickers. Kickers when they miss. They're not even considered athletes. So I think all kickers get 2 tries to make any field goal during the game in the name of sparing their feelings.
So you're saying a do-over.
And any kick over 50 yards, they get 3 tries.
Okay, that's fair. Uh-huh.
What about 60 yards?
Thank you. Can we all come back now? Can we get our...
What about 60? What about 60 yards?
They get 3 tries, but the third try, they have to do it blindfolded.
Okay.
It actually gets harder when you go to 60 for some reason.
Okay.
I think that what they should do is if a team gets called too many times for taunting, right, then the other team gets to pick a player of that team, of the offending team, and injure them on purpose. Like they're like, all right, that's the third taunting call. Well, they're going to bust out the metal baton and you can just pick one guy and just run up to him and just whack him in the back of his leg. And then he has to play like that for the rest of the game. I think that taunting should have a more progressive levels of penalties for the taunting team. Like your player gets ejected and you get to cut off a body part of one player, like a hand, possibly a foot. Yes.
I'm sorry to retread things, but remember how we were bashing Scooter? That was fun. But remember when he said that he's not going to be here so he can get a punishment?
That's right.
I was thinking about it. Can we make him dress up as a centaur and it's like thunder? And so he's basically like a white horse. I want him to dress up as a centaur.
So he's got to go buy the centaur costume, and then maybe his girlfriend could be the.
I will send this to Scooter free of charge.
I think that's the punishment, that he's got to do the show with that on.
Yes.
Send him that, and he's got to do the show with that on. And that should be it. He's already got to wear a Packers cheerleader outfit, which
yes, he does.
He's also ducking that. Okay.
No, he can wear a Packers cheerleader outfit while wearing the horse.
So he's hiding from getting dunked on when his team gets blown the freak out by a under 500 team, or at 500. Well, no, under 500 at the time. And then he's not wearing a cheerleading outfit. Like my spank bank is empty because I haven't seen Scooter in a Packers cheerleader outfit, and I need to see that happen. So Scoots, you need to come back.
Scooty, come back.
I think
you can blame it all on me.
The NFL, as another way to make it worse with rules, is Odell Beckham Jr. should have to sign with a new team every week.
Oh, that one. He just goes back into the pool every week. He's like, all right. And then
Because hearing about
with
the
the
Odell
Browns.
Beckham trade has been painful. So if we got to do that every week, oh man, that would be tough.
Okay, well, let's bring up last couple things here before we get into the Thursday night preview. The Vikings, Dakota Dozier was vaxxed and now is hospitalized. Makes you kind of wonder about this whole vaccine thing.
I mean, you can not only get the virus, you can also propagate it to levels that you're unvaccinated can spread it to other people. So, and you also have to realize that the efficacy of the vaccines and the boosters like fade out over time. So there's also like a good bit of that. I just hope the dude recovers. I don't care about the opinion of someone with a vaccine. It's just, I'm just hoping he recovers and is able to play football and doesn't have any long-term complications.
But he did not consult Joe Rogan before getting the vaccine, and I don't know if it's as serious as that sort of clickbaity headline is, but I just hope that he recovers soon. And I don't know how do you feel about that, Tom?
I mean, like I said, I saw that there was like 29 close contacts. But I think what Tree said is right. I mean, like it depends on like when he got the vaccine, because over time, like it is going to wear down depending on which one you got. I know like Johnson sounded like 13% after like 6 months or some crazy number like that. So yeah, I mean, I think that while yes, you can get it, I mean, this is also like an exception, right? Because usually you don't have to be hospitalized when you do get the vaccine. I don't want to dive into like a whole vaccine conversation, but yeah, like I just hope he recovers. And I retweeted that and it turned into another vax versus anti-vax war in the Twitter thread. So I was like, I'm done now. I dealt with that last week. Tommy done now. Tommy done.
Wait, what happened last week, Tom?
What?
The Browns were potentially going to cut OBJ and then they did.
Oh, that's right.
That's what happened.
I forgot.
That's
The OBJ stuff.
Yep. All right, let's move on from that segment because it's really nothing to talk about. It's not.
Oh, dude, there's not much of a take you can have.
We don't want nuclear war here.
Oh, don't worry, it's already happening. You mentioned the B word. There's going to be nuclear war.
Can't ever be right. Can't ever be wrong.
The B word, the P word, or the I word.
Mm-hmm.
My take is doctors are bad.
Yes, they are so dumb. They went to all that school, and I don't know
who goes
why.
to school for so long.
Yeah,
just
I
finish
know.
it already and get out of there.
What's funny is
I did
one of my
school
favorite
3 years.
one of my favorite Mitch Hedberg jokes of all time. It was that Mr. Pibb started making soda, but dude didn't even get his degree.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper. Now that man is an impressive doctor.
All right,
the world tastes better.
Bring up something that is relevant or that is interesting. Is Mike White is now named the starter for the Jets. Don't forget about Mike White there. Do the Jets have a QB controversy now with Mike White, the most gifted athlete ever in the history of New York sports? Does Zach Wilson even get his job back when Mike White is doing all these special things?
Well, I disagree with your characterization of the best athlete in New York because you guys had Case Cookus. You had him there. You had him there and you let him go. So, yeah.
Well, Nate Peterman was in New York State.
Like a shooting star, first of all. Well, I mean, Zach Wilson's still hurt. So there's no QB controversy yet because he's still hurt. But if Mike White comes out and like just lights it up every single game, I mean, I don't see why you start Zach Wilson again this season. I'm not saying that he takes over permanently, but I would say I don't just let Wilson sit then and then maybe figure it out over training camp.
Do you think Mike White is the next Matty Flynn, like a guy that has one good game and then goes signs with the Seahawks for too much money?
Whoa. Did you just say Matt Flynn only had one good game?
He only had one good game. He threw for 8 touchdowns or whatever, and then he. We're gonna have an argument over. Are we gonna argue over Matt Flynn?
Yes, because Matt Flynn is a national treasure. Okay, Matt Flynn for the win. One good game. I know what you're referring to. You're talking about the very last week of the season against the Lions, which threw like 6 touchdowns.
Yes.
It was insane. Nay, that was not his only good game because when they played against the Dallas Cowboys, in which they were getting blown out at halftime, guess who helped lead the Packers back when Aaron Rodgers was injured and they beat the Cowboys, staying in playoff contention and making the playoffs that year? Matt Flynn. So don't you say he just had one good game. He had at least 2 good games.
1.5 good games.
1.5 good games. All right. Okay.
Get out of here.
Do I need to bring up Scott Tolzien here?
Oh,
Do I need
God,
to?
don't. That guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That guy
That's
was a
my
douche.
argument. Is I'm going
He
to
was,
add
a dude. He was not a nice person. I met him at training camp. He was a mean person. Scott Tolzien. He's like, I'm like, buddy, you're like, no.
Right.
No.
I remember Scott Tolzien because he lost to the Giants, and I was like, "You're trash." Like
Matt Flynn
lost to
is a god amongst Green Bay Packers fans, and we will always love him. And he stole more money from the Seahawks, so we're all about it.
He did. He fleeced them, and then he lost his job to a 4th-round pick.
Yep.
Anyways, let's wrap it up.
Russell Wilson, to be fair.
I'm just saying. I don't care. The numbers are numbers, baby. That's all I gotta say.
Russ Wilson,
Stats are stats. All right, let's wrap it up. Thursday night preview: Ravens at Dolphins. I think this is going to be a horrible game.
Woo!
Dolphins coming off a win against the worst team in the NFL history. The
Jacoby get the start.
Texans. The worst thing about the Texans was Tyrod Taylor was out there and he looked awful, like he was falling over his own feet, and he lost to the Dolphins. I think tonight is going to be, but even though the NFL is weird and weird things happen, like the Broncos beating the Cowboys by 30, I think this is going to be an AAS whooping. That's all I got to say. Good old fashioned butt whipping.
I hope so too. I mean, it's probably going to be Lamar doing his Lamar things, and the Dolphins doing the Dolphin things, and then Howie Roseman doing a couple lines of cocaine in his back office because he's going to have a top 5 pick.
Whoa.
Didn't the Ravens beat the Dolphins last year, like the first game of the season, or was that 2 years ago? Like
it was a couple years ago, 2 years ago, yeah.
54-0. The Ravens own the Dolphins, and they're favored by 8, which is the perfect amount of a betting line, because like if a team is favored by 16 in the NFL, they're gonna lose, they're gonna win, but they're gonna win by 15. When it's in that range of sub 10, sub double digits, like that's where you bet, baby. That's where the blowout happens, is right at -8. So I'm taking the Ravens and the points, baby, tonight.
Ooh. You should do that at DraftKings too, right, guys?
Yeah, I should do that at promo code Clickbait. Love the Ravens tonight. What about you, Tree? Who do you think is going to win this game?
I say it's the Ravens, unfortunately, and I am not happy about it.
Hey,
Let's
stop
get
playing with your balls and tell us who you think is going to win.
I'm playing with my balls, dude. I'm playing. I'm going to steal a Super Bowl. That's all that matters right now. I actually got a legitimate terrible towel for once in my life, so I'm a real fan, apparently.
All right, throw that thing in here, Perna. Come on.
Interactive.
Jealous case.
Ooh,
Ravens are in this game. Lamar Jackson's the front runner for MVP again. And you referenced Tyrod Taylor. And I just wanted to point out he threw maybe one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life in that Dolphins game. He's running out of bounds, and then he just flicks the ball right to a Dolphins player who had stepped out of bounds, but then reestablished himself in bounds. Literally didn't have to move because the ball just came right to him. And we thought maybe Tyrod coming back was going to, help the Texans a little bit. No. And I don't think Jacoby Brissett going to get it done Thursday night. So Ravens by 1 million.
Yeah, Tua's out again. So not going to be pretty.
Oh, dear. It's Brissett.
Yeah.
The broken finger hurts on the snaps. So
yeah, but Russell Wilson somehow is coming back from a finger that looked like Booger McFarland fingers, and
that's because they put a pin in it.
Well, they put a pin and they removed it, and he has the power of Jesus Christ in saving his virginity until marriage.
Yeah. Okay, then that was completely unrelated to anything, but
but that's because Russell Wilson has God powers.
That's right. He does. He married Ciara. Good for him. Tom, prediction tonight?
Ravens win.
Okay, we're gonna try to get out as soon as possible.
Chilling like a mob boss villain, and you're
send us all emails.
Whatever, dude. They hate me. They don't hate you guys. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Let's go to the clock. I think it's that time. We have made it to the 6 o'clock hour.
Donate to everyone else, please.
I think we know what's gonna happen.
We made $1,000, so we know how
this is
go.
just like the ref.
Oh yeah. Fear.
Counting down.
Power.
We're coming till we punish your
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15,
Sandwich
4.
power.
Doesn't matter.
Remember,
what
donate
we
in this
do,
time.
We know the score.
Fear.
Tree got
power of
over
overcoming.
1K on this stream alone. And 5 brought up something. Wait, was that
Fear.
tree about someone
The
not
power of
linked
overcoming.
on?
Tom, shut up.
All right. I have $21.99. Thank you, Alex, Daniel, and Joe Thomas. Hey, Joe Thomas gave me a super chat.
Wow.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Thank you
Oh
all.
my God, YouTube. I got $51. I wanted to bring up the thank yous, but the back end ain't working for me.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Chili.
I
Tom?
made $225.83. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
let me put it to you this way.
Let's hear it,
If
Tree.
it weren't for the inject chicken bomb, I still would have lost
Oh,
Wow.
what do you got?
1.3K.
Oh! 1,300.
Inject chicken, I hate you.
I think that's costume worthy. I think he's got to order some type of costume. Maybe the actual Steely McBeam costume.
Someone said early on to make him dress like Pseudo Wudo, the tree Pokemon. Which if you look it up, it's kind of amazing. And
Can we get a visual on that? Hold on. Pseudo Wudo.
For Manny Food Brothers. People are talking
And
about
people
Manny's.
want him to do the Primanti ones.
Yeah, I see it.
He's
Maybe
done
maybe
that.
a little bit of both. Maybe you eat that while you're in the Pseudo Wudo.
Oh my
costume,
gosh.
Right?
Oh,
Pseudo
Lord.
Wudo is top notch.
No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna download this real quick.
Oh.
And
No webcams, no!
Also, the Ravens mascot, having him dress as that might be good.
what is the Ravens mascot?
Oh, let me bring it up.
Who is Pseudo Widow? What?
Can we
He
get a
looks like a
Pseudo Wudo
penis.
costume?
Pseudo
It looks
Wudo
like a
costume.
penis.
I'll pull
I
it
need
up.
to see this. That is very phallic right there. Very phallic. What?
Oh boy.
Oh, the Ravens. That's close too. A crow, basically. Can you order the Poe mascot costume?
Dress is gritty.
Ooh, gritty would be pretty rough too. But I think I've liked the sandwich board idea with wearing nothing but the sandwich board, having to walk around the park. I think Pseudo Wudo or the Ravens outfit, or dress as a member of the Dog Pound.
There's a few in my chat saying Pseudo Wudo. We also could just do a quick poll instead of just waiting. We could do polls on our
We're gonna do
YouTube.
polls.
Ooh, all right,
All right, here we'll give them 2 minutes to vote, not even, or like 90 seconds.
we
All
can
right,
do that.
Punishment. Yep.
Here, I can do that.
Oh, okay.
Punishment. All right, so we're doing Pseudo Wudo, and what's the other one?
Pseudo.
I think he should order like 20 Primanti's burgers and have to wear those. Like just grease them all over himself. And just...
I think that's part of it, just because it's $1,300.
Yes, it's got to be big.
All right, so Pseudo Wudo Ravens costume, one of those, right?
Pseudo Widows, Ravens costume. What else? Like, I'll probably have to do the Primantis or some.
And a cameo from Antonio Brown.
Yep. Oh God, not a cameo. Dear God, no.
I just want to say that your trash tree.
Yeah.
All right, I put a poll up there.
I put a poll up too.
Okay.
I put it
So
up there.
we'll
give
wait
them like
2
60
minutes.
2 minutes,
seconds.
boys.
A Cassius Marsh thing would be good too.
What?
I'm gonna stand there menacingly.
You have to learn how to do a roundhouse kick like Cassius Marsh.
Oh.
I would love to see Tree attempt a roundhouse kick.
Well.
Oh, dude. Pokemon is winning 73 to
Pokemon,
27.
all right.
Yeah, mine's at 65% too.
Can we, now, does a
63%.
Pseudo Wudo costume exist? That's the question.
That's
Yes,
question.
the real question.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's Sa-do Wudo.
Pseudo Wudo.
Yeah. People have been buying that
SUDO.
costume for weird sex parties for a very long time.
Oh God.
I love all of this.
I have an
Okay.
adult inflatable T-Rex costume.
Somebody
We will-
has one that they wear, but I think this has to be like custom made. Oh, wait. Pseudo Wudo. Not seeing an actual costume that you can buy.
All done.
Buy pseudo wudo costumes for cheap. No, that's not it.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe you should have to buy a Chris Letang body pillow.
I mean, you could literally just make it by taking like brown wrapping paper and wrapping it around you and holding tree branches.
Yeah, he
and
might have to get creative. Yes.
Like, I think that might actually look better.
Yeah. Okay. How about that? Yeah, you got $1,000. You should be able to make your own pseudo.
You can make it for $20.
Make my suit.
I had to order mine
I
from
have
China,
no
and it cost like
artistic-
$400 and it came ripped.
I have no artistic ability whatsoever, man.
That's what makes it better.
Oh, don't you have friends?
And you have
Come
to get
on.
What are
Permantes.
friends? I don't know what friends are.
And you got to get Permantes. You gotta get that too.
Yeah, you have to eat Permantes. How about this? How about
Take it home, 5. What do you got?
No. I was thinking. I think he's got to wear the costume, right? Like
Yes.
he's got to
So
got
he
to
can eat
wear
it
it.
while he's wearing the costume.
Yeah, he's got to become it. I was thinking maybe he gets a pseudo wudo doll, and like puts it on his display in front of him, and then eats the Permantes. But that's not harsh enough.
No.
That's
I
not-
want
this is
to see
intentional.
Tree's
All of you.
artistic. I have no artistic ability, so I empathize with Tree, and I think it would just be great because if I try to make a
That's
costume,
a good idea. I have to touch grass. Yeah, that's a better idea. I like that idea.
okay.
I'm still not seeing an actual pseudo wudo.
I think it's again, you gotta wrap yourself in just like brown packing paper, and then like
Oh,
you just
hold
carry
on.
tree branches around. I'm telling you, it work.
I got it, guys. I found it. It's not
What?
the actual one, but I think with just a little bit of doctoring.
There we go. Like a tree costume, right? Yes. Yes.
What?
There we go. Absolutely. Look at this improvisation here. All right, that's fair enough. $69.99. Nice.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that guy's gonna get canceled. Who
You're
modeled
gonna
for
remove.
that
Yeah,
costume.
I know. Yeah. He can't.
That guy's gonna get canceled.
Yeah. It said read before buying. You will get canceled if you wear this.
Don't paint your face, please.
Yes.
Don't
He's
Do not
doing
paint
tree face. He's
Uh-huh.
doing tree face.
Oh, yeah,
That's
it's doing tree face.
You'll never be allowed in the forest again if you do that. Be canceled.
Don't
from the
report
forest.
that image until Tree buys that costume.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so there it is. You go buy that, and we'll see you next week in your pseudo wudo costume.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
With the
It's
Permantes.
settled.
All right.
And you have to eat Permanti Brothers. All right.
God,
Do we have
Jimmy.
any closing words for our near 4,000 people here?
Nope.
No? Let's just
On
get it.
time.
All right. Good show, everyone.